Everyone, welcome to Tia Talk once again on my Rescue 101 series under my Tia Talk podcast platform. This would be part 6 or 7, depending on where you're listening or watching this. So today I want to talk about responsibilities and liabilities because the last episode, what did I talk about? When you have a dog that may not become adoptable due to maybe aggression issues or some kind of behavioral issues, something like separation anxiety. Um, there's a gambit of things that can make a dog very difficult to adopt out, if not even unadoptable. So in the last episode, I talked about another rescue who took on a Rottweiler without ever meeting the dog. The dog was in a completely different other state. And she took the dog on, not into her personal care. She adopted this dog out from its current situation where it just bit up a kid, where it was raised actually, and then sent it off to another home where it mauled the adopter within minutes of meeting the dog. So, um, I don't know if this guy's going to sue her or not. I mean, she's got nothing to sue for. I would sue her. I would. But anyways, so what are your responsibilities and liabilities? Okay. I have seen it too many times where rescue people just kind of go, oh, well, whatever happens, happens. Um, and we're just not that type of organization. We have an adoption contract. True. It says that when you sign it, you are responsible for what happens with that dog after it leaves our care. That being said, I feel that you do have some moral obligation there. You really do. And that is to get to know, again, the dog as best as you can and not become like a doggy broker, which is like a dog in, a dog out, a dog in, a dog out without taking the time to really get to know the dog. Many, many years ago, when I was new at this dog rescue thing, in Los Angeles, when I lived in Los Angeles, I was becoming fairly well known. This is way before a TV show. And the animal shelters in Los Angeles had started a new policy where, in order to adopt out a dog that had potential behavioral issues, you had to be a 501c3, a legit nonprofit. Now, why that made a difference, I have no idea. Like, just because you're a nonprofit doesn't make you knowledgeable, okay, in dog behavior. But that was their rule. And there was a female pit mix that was showing some fear aggression in the shelter. And some, quasi pit bull rescue wanted to get her out, or some dog rescue wanted to get her out. And they were not a legit nonprofit. So they reached out to me and said, please, 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 will you get her out for me? Because I had the proper paperwork. Now, again, I didn't know what I was doing back then. Not like I do now. So I said, sure. Okay. So I went and bailed the dog out, meaning she was under my name, microchipped to me, because that's what happens when you get a dog from a shelter. They put the dog all in your name. Well, unbeknownst to me, this rescue adopted her out within like a couple of days, and she ended up biting a kid. They got sued, and I got sued. Uh-huh. Now, when I went to, I think they just took us to like small claims court, and I tried to say, hey, this is what happened. They looked at me, the judge looked at me and said, but you know what? As a nonprofit dog rescue, we consider you knowledgeable in your field. Thus, you should have known better. Mm-hmm. So, you need to be careful what you do, people, before you jump with both feet in. Another similar situation that happened to me, gosh, just a few years ago, actually. We had a pit bull that we adopted out as a little puppy, like an 8-week-old puppy. And like 6-7 years go by. And by the way, this puppy was actually an episode on our TV show. I'm not going to give out any names. But 6 or 7 years go by. And our adopter and our dog, which is now an adult dog, they're at a family barbecue here in Louisiana. And what happens at family barbecues? People drink, okay? And there was some drunkage going on. And our adopter and her cousin kind of got into a squabble. And I think the cousin took a swing at the adopter. Anyways, our former dog ended up what we call tagging. It's like a quick nip. The cousin's leg. Didn't even break skin. Well, the cousin of our adopter tried to sue us like 6, 7 years later. And it's because the minute she realized that, the dog came from the people on TV, then she thought she was going to get a quick money grab. The judge tossed it out. The reason I'm telling you these stories is even with my experience and my knowledge and my wisdom, it can happen. So you need to decide right now how much of a liability and a responsibility you want to take on. I mean, nowadays, if you adopt out a dog and it does some damage to where somebody ends up dying, you see it all the time. The owners get charged with a felony, a crime. So be careful. My recommendation is this. And this is kind of the chicken shit way of doing things, but this is my recommendation. If you're just getting into this dog rescue stuff for the first time, maybe stay away from the power breeds, the big power breeds, like the pit bulls, the Rottweilers, the German Shepherds, the Dobermans, the Mastiffs, the Bulldogs. Let's start with something small and easy, shall we? Okay, simply because they don't do as much damage if something does happen. Learn, get your feet wet first. I know I've said this before. It's so trendy to be a pit bull rescuer. Okay, yeah, I'm being sarcastic because I get this a lot. Start with something smaller. Okay, and just, you know, go through the process of having people sign your adoption contract. Let's see if there's going to be any behavioral problems, when you adopt this dog out. That's my quick fix advice for this process in becoming a responsible, legit dog rescuer. Okay? Again, okay, it's your liability and it's your responsibility. Let me reverse that. It's your responsibility first, and then it could become your liability. All right? So that is me stepping off of my soapbox based on years of experience and things happening to me. Okay? Take the advice or not. I just hope I don't see you in court someday. All right? I'm giving you my words of wisdom here, people. Okay? Okay, then. Well, we will see you on the next one. And let's see what other advice I can come up with, because now we're getting into the adoption process. That's the next thing I want to talk to everybody about, is the adoption process and how that works and the best way to go through that. Okay, well, rescue away.